Greetings, Earthlings. It's late. It's late. How late is it? It's 1 a.m. It's 7 minutes after 1. I was going to say past, and then I said after. Um, what are some of the things I'm trying this year? I'm saying yes more to myself. I am doing my eyebrows. Like, I actually brush them. I have an old toothbrush that I think I used once, and I was like, the bristles are not good enough for my teeth, I think. So let me use it for my eyebrows and my lashes. And I've stopped having as many incidences of lashes getting into my eyes, so I guess that's a plus. I am cooking up a storm in the kitchen. I love cooking. I always have. I started experimenting in the kitchen when I was 11. I remember making not coconut macaroons. What do you call them? How cute is this guy? How cute is this? I started making, this is from one of my kids, by the way. I'm selling them, so reach out if you want. If you're in Kenya and if you're in Germany, I'll figure out how to get you one of these for the low price of 10 euros, not including shipping costs. But anyway, I'm cooking. And I shared on Instagram today that one of the markers of my mental health being doing really well is that I'm cooking, I'm engaging in creative projects. Guess who is working on a podcast? Like, my friends have been telling me for so long, and not just my friends, random strangers that I will meet at functions, events. Like, you know, your girl likes to go networking. If you didn't know, now you know. I like the sound of my own voice. And so do other people. Like, they actually go like, you have a really good voice for radio. And I tell them, yeah, I've, done a show once at a radio station. It was a church thing. Then rolling my eyes even at myself as we say this, but I did know better then. And then I was on TV twice, I'm not sure. But it was years ago, back in like 2014, 2015. And actually, it was 2015 because I remember who took me. uh, there was a man who was confusing me, but I was like, I'm in a relationship. But anyways, it's he and I are sort of friendly. I think we speak every year or so, but I digress. One of the things I am doing is I've noticed I've gone back to doing the things I used to enjoy thoroughly, which is enjoying my own space. Like, I literally zoned out when I said that. I genuinely enjoy my own company. Now, my housemate left and went to the America. And I mean, initially I was like super excited that he was leaving. Not because CJ is a bad person. Like, CJ is an awesome guy. Like, he's the most amazing man I have met in a long time. Oh my goodness. Black men are God's gift when cooked right, when they're properly marinated, air fried, like they're just very yummy people. So when I moved to this house, I was just informed out of the blue that the person I would be living with was an African American football player. And I was like, okay. Then person who was linked me up with my landlord is like, oh yeah, and he's like, when I say African, I mean he's originally like his parents are from Nigeria. I was like, oh God, because in my head, I'm waiting for the Nigerians to come for me, but just listen. In my head, I thought, is he going to be one of those, or a woman should, a woman could, a woman will be, Proverbs 31? Because we know our brothers from the West and sisters are quite religious. And look, I believe in Jesus. I'm just not a conservative Christian. Haven't been as far as I can remember. Like, I was 14 when I decided marriage was not for me. Kids were not for me, but I might have a child if there's no man. I was 14. I was just by a single mom. So I'm waiting for someone to go like, oh yeah, that's why you're so problematic. Like my ex's father had the nerve to literally point out to his son, oh yeah, she was raised by a single mom. You're going to have like this, like the insinuation was that I was damaged, right? And you know the audacity of men, someone saying that, and yet he has daughters who are single. Like it's just the patriarchy. The patriarchy is very, in Swahili we say nyani haoni kundule. Like the baboon does not see his own red ass. Anyway, I'm not trying to insult my father-in-law former. Give me a second to reposition. I'm just saying, like, men just be out here doing the most. They forget that it's the daughters who come back home. It's the daughters who help with the medical bills. It's the daughters who, if there's a leaking roof, will be very quick to fix it. Sometimes even before it starts to leak, like we notice things. Let's not get too far into that. I think I got into that because I had a call with my friend. You remember many videos back when I did a series? It's actually my most watched video, the one with the naked man's back, the one that pissed you off. By pissed him off, I mean my ex. I did a series, Sex and Consent, right? And at the time, I was like going through the heat of the breakup. I was like pissed off. I was angry. And now I'm genuinely happy for him because I also got informed, and I'm sure he'll watch this, so he knows I know. And of course, he told our mutual friend so that I wouldn't be told that he's met someone. So my first reaction, and by the way, I won't lie to you guys, my first reaction was, oh gosh, he's met someone. Like there's this sense of loss. I swear to you, God as my witness, it did not take 2 minutes for me to go like, I really hope she's nice. I really hope they're happy. That is love. That's how I know I love someone. When even if they are far away from me, like they're friends I have lost. I promise you people. And I'm not just saying this to sound like a good Christian person. Me, I was just raised proper by a wonderful mother. She has her flaws, but like she taught me how to just legit love people and let them go. And so when I learned this, I was like, I really hope like they're good for each other. I hope they're happy. And wherever you are, dear ex of mine, I genuinely want you to be happy. Like I'm genuinely happy to hear our mutual friends tell me, you know, you like taking care of yourself, you're doing all these things and things I wished you'd done when we were together. But it's okay. I'm genuinely happy that you're doing them. And I genuinely want you to like be happy, meet someone, you've met someone. Be happy, build a life with someone, do better with her than you did with me. Because you did a lot of good until those last couple of months. You know what happened those last couple of months. And for this to be your forever person, I want you to like have kids because you wanted kids and I didn't. I've seen you with your niece and nephew. You've had your moments. We all have our moments. Children can make us crazy. But I've seen you be a very gentle person. I've seen you be like really sweet with, you know, your niece. I've seen you be very fun with your nephew, and these kids adore him. Like kids just in this family adore him because he's just like a sweet person. Like he's just a sweetheart, you know. And I know you guys are sat here thinking, do you want him back? You can genuinely be happy for someone and wish them well from a distance and go like, it worked when it worked and it didn't work when it didn't work. So it was time for us to move forward because we were headed in different directions and wanted different things. We are getting back to me. So, because this is like status report, how are we doing, etc. One of the things I'm doing this year, because I had told myself I wanted to be celibate, I was done sowing my wild oats. Oh, and sow them I did. A moment of silence for the things I did last year, 2024. I'll be honest with you guys, I am so glad Jesus didn't come back. I am glad he didn't come back last year. I would have, you know those ones of he comes, the trumpet sounds. First of all, I would have been singed by the appearance of his coming. And then when that resurrection for the evil to be judged would have happened, and there I am in the Armageddon trying to fight the risen Christ because I don't know better. This is me preaching. I think I would have just put my sword on the ground and walked towards the flames of hell or just waited. Like, you know the way you know when you're doing something stupid? Let me give you an example. Your girlfriend calls you. You know that girlfriend. Ladies, me, I'm just talking to you. Sister to sister. Your girlfriend calls you and goes like, hey babe, how you doing? You know, we were supposed to have a call today. Mark you had not remembered. And where are you? You're with your backpack at the train station headed to your situationship's place. You've not told her because you know this is the fourth, fifth time you've been saying, oh my gosh, I'm done with this fool. Niggas ain't ish, blah, blah, blah. That was me. That was me last year. Oh, that was me making excuses, going like, it's just a hookup. It's not a big deal. Until one of my friends told me, Sharon, I think you're digmatized. And just hearing it out loud was what I needed. Did I avoid her? Yes. Did I avoid her? I did. But now I am reporting myself to her and just telling her, look, I am a sinner, forgive me. These are some of the things that I am confessing. That's supposed to be a joke because I'm SD and I don't believe in confessing sins to a human being, but I dated a Catholic and some things rub off on you. I digress. So one of the things I've been doing, and I know this is 11 minutes of building up to the thing, other than taking off my glasses so that I am just more comfortable with the way I look with, my otherwise very beautiful exotic eyes, I am cooking more, which is a good sign. The air fryer is really helping. And one of the things I remember, I was telling Wavua, you'll hear about Wavua a lot because she's my new obsession. She's such a dope chick. And we're doing a podcast together and she's so wicked smart. Me, I don't know why you Kenyans don't have her lecturing at universities around the country. So, Wavua was telling me, Wavua of Everyday Food Stories. I will share her website because now it's up and running and it is beautiful. Aish, that website. You guys you're not ready for the thing we're about to do. So Wavua and I were talking. She shares with me the trending jewels. Jewels of over 25. If you don't know jewels of over 25, please go look for her. Like jewels, JULES of over 25, like over the age of 25. They were a bunch of girlfriends who came together, like this Just Ivy. She's the tomboyish one. I only remember the ones who I could relate to. So there's Jules and then there's Just Ivy and there's Jewels. I follow Just Ivy on LinkedIn because she has this beautiful content and I like the way she talks about business and money. I love Jules because I could just relate to her. Oh, me, no. Like she's very self-aware and there's this something about her. It's not aloofness. I just said what I said. She's very unapologetic. There's something about her. I can't explain it. So Jules started a podcast. Is it called This Is Love? Or is this love? Or whatever. And like, when she's beginning the intro jingle thing. Yeah, Wavua says it's a jingle. That thing that people say at the beginning of the podcast is something like, is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? I mean, we all ask ourselves that question at the ripe age of like 35, right? Especially when these relationship streets have shown you shege, when you have been through it. So today my sister Naima and I are laughing because she's giving me updates, right? About her life, about the cooker that I left her, which was threatening to set her house on fire. And don't worry, she's okay. The children are fine. Now, of course, because we're sisters. We've been BFFs from like when I was 19, turning 20. I think I met her officially when I was 20. So that is a proper 17, almost 17 years of my life that we've been friends. We start talking. Naima and I are very alike, yeah? Omondi Ogugu. Naima has stayed with us, has met my mom. So she knows when I talk about my mother and my aunt and my cousins and my grandma and everything, like she can picture my life story because she knows the characters and she's met a number of them. It's like Koki, it's like Shiko, like the friends who've met my family, including my uncles and my cousins, like the people who've really met my family, whose families I've also met. Because I told you, for us girlfriends, women, why we need intimacy and not sex is because we are those friends who are like friends for real. So another thing I'm doing, by the way, before I get to the thing that I'm building up to, is I'm rekindling my female friendships. And when I say rekindling, I mean nina pepeta huo moto. I am fanning that flame. I am basically talking to my girlfriends for hours. We are building ideas. We're encouraging one another. We are building connections. We are asking each other, so what's the thing you're doing next week? What's the thing you're doing next month? How are you taking care of yourself today? We're reminding each other to breathe. Stella Munene, bless her soul, reminds me to be like, babe, breathe. Because she knows when I'm anxious. Mark you, we met like maybe 2 times before I left Kenya. She and I became fast friends through my stay here in Germany. She has helped me with breath work. She has saved my actual life through breath work. So there are times when I'm ranting and she can tell from the tone of my text or voice notes that I'm upset, and she's like, babe, breathe. And I'm like, so what else am I doing? Learning to ask for help. I don't know what number we are at. I am also not using my friends as therapists. Pausing for effect. One of the quickest ways for us to cause our friendships to deteriorate is to use our friends as therapists when we can afford therapy. And even if we can't afford therapy, one of the things I tell people, please check someone's capacity. Ask them, hey, look, I've had a tough day as, I don't know, let me think of random things. As a firstborn daughter, as a caregiver of an ailing parent, as a caregiver of a terminal child, as, do you have the capacity for me to just lay it on you? We're out here dealing with anxiety, depression, ADHD, burnout, and just kawaida burnout. Let's check. Let's check. So, this is the thing I was building up to. Another thing that I am doing, other than really checking in with my girlfriends, checking up on my girlfriends, reminding them how amazing they are and how appreciative I am of them. And guess what? The Bible is not lying when it says, give and it shall come back to you. The way I am investing in these women, they're investing back in me. Do you know I had a conversation with my daughter yesterday? She is all of 10 years old. She was breaking bad news to me. Like, she was literally telling me something happened to mom. She got injured, blah, blah, blah. And she didn't tell you. And guess what? After her injury, instead of this person taking her to hospital, like, they just took her to a dispensary. I was very upset. Auntie, I'm really sorry that I'm raising my voice right now. I'm just really, really upset. I'm angry right now. 10 years old. Explain to me how a man at 40 cannot find the words to say that. Like, I'm sorry, I'm raising my voice. I'm just really upset right now. Or I am. One of the things I miss about my ex is this. I could use phrases like, I'm impaired. Because I was the explosive one. I used to go like, I'm so upset right now. I need to go out for a walk. I can't talk right now. And I'll go for my walk, sometimes at 11 p.m. Like, people, these are the things I keep telling young girls about marriage. Like, please, marry your friend. Oh my God, marry your friend. Marry that person. I remember even Jackson Saya, my business coach, big bro, the only Adventist man I trust with my life. He and his wife, by the way, the only people I can fall asleep in the house after a traumatic event. Those are the only people I trust with my life. An Adventist pair. And he told me, what did Jackson Saya tell me? I've forgotten what he told me. What was I talking about? Give me a second to collect my thoughts. I am so excited to tell you things. So anyway, my daughter was telling me she was upset, and I told her, in your anger, the Bible, I told her the Bible is very clear. In your anger, do not sin means you can be angry. Just don't say any bad words. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be dismissive of someone's feelings. Don't yell at someone else. Like, speak loudly when you're upset. I told her research has proven. I'm telling a 10-year-old because she needs to know that when we keep anger on the inside, we get sick. It's called autoimmune disease. It means your body attacks itself. Like, your immunity, which is supposed to be attacking foreign objects in your body, starts to attack you. Like, it starts to attack your tissues, like your kidneys. I think is that lupus? Yeah, I think. Is this sarcoidosis? I'm not sure. So anyway, starts to attack your kidneys, starts to attack your joints where you have like arthritis. It starts to attack, like, your immunity starts to attack your own body. And she listened keenly, and she's like, oh my goodness. And I told her, by the way, mom seems to forget she had ulcers before, and we asked Jesus to heal her for a very long time. You remember when we used to pray for her and feed her charcoal? And she's like, yeah, when she used to take activity charcoal. And I'm like, look, You know, by the way, we are gossiping her mother while her mother is listening and laughing. And she's like, but I think, let me tell you, let me pause. Children are very intuitive. Women, when you stay for the kids know. This little girl tells me, hey, this child is wise and just too grown up. She tells me, I think mommy didn't want to tell you because she didn't want you to worry. My 6-year-old Rahma, Naima's daughter, firstborn, Naima tells me, oh, Rahma has finally accepted that Auntie Sharon can't come just yet because ticket fares are expensive. And she tells me, oh, mama, Auntie Sharon haji bado kwa sababu hatuna aeroplane, and like we don't have a plane, and that's why Auntie Sharon isn't coming. But we are basically praying that she gets fare, tunaomba apate nauli, then she can come. The holy month of Ramadan is coming up in April. I'm really hoping I can be home for Ramadan. I really hope, pray. Ugh. Anyway, let's see how that goes. The long and short is this. I talked to someone today about a work visa, like work search visa, and he's given me hope. And he told me, wait, Sharon, those are not like, the nursing gigs are not available like from August. And I'm thinking, I was working with March. Can I be honest with you people? Me, I don't believe life is supposed to be one endless cycle of work. I really don't. So what I'm going to do, me as Sharon, as myself here as we speak, is to apply for the work search visa, yes, hand in my thesis. Oh, I have promised everyone who will listen that I am handing in my thesis either at the end of this month or the beginning of February. Like by the time we are getting to Valentine's Day, my Valentine's gift, one of the things that I will be given as a treat is a spa day. I've been promised. Because I have amazing friends who are like, look, chick, just finish this thing. This treat is on me. And then, oh no, that one I asked for. I just told this person, like, look, this is your country. Please, I want to go to a spa. Someone else has potentially hinted at buying me a ticket to go home. Because they're like, yeah, you're broke. We need to take you home. You need to go touch grass. Like, you need to go step on that sand you keep talking about. I have amazing friends. I have friends who've offered to host me, whether or not I have money. They're like, Sharon, you're broke. You've not had a job for what? Almost 3 years. Come, we will feed you. You'll go back, and then when you have money, you will be fine. And they're not even saying, oh, when you have money, you'll pay me. They're just happy to see me thrive. And what else? Just now, the final thing I have been doing, I've forgotten what Saya told me, but I know it has something to do with investing in yourself and learning how to ask for the things that you want. Like, don't let it sit in your head. But I've forgotten how he phrased it. That was not how I was going to focus on it, but it will come to me, and then I'll just post another short video, because Jackson Saya gave me so many business tips that life-changing. So he's a big part of the reason why Start is still alive and well, because I had given up. Stella is also the second, with actually the third reason. The second reason is Betty Gishuki. She's the one who is in business, and she's the one who printed my first t-shirt, the Start t-shirt. I'll wear it to one of these videos. That t-shirt means the world to me. And the hoodie means the world to me, but the hoodie disappeared. I left it on a train. I think I'll just get another hoodie from her and tell her this is to celebrate how many years of Start from 2018. Feels good to be in business still. So the final thing before we clock the 30-minute mark in 6.5 minutes, I have been surrounding myself with strong female friends, because in habit building, which is what I teach, healthy habit building, health is not just the absence of disease, or maladies. According to WHO, I forget which year, it is physical, psychological, emotional well-being. It's the whole shebang, and spiritual, by the way, because we're also including elements of spirituality these days. We are quite woke, in spite of what those people who we do not like are saying about wokeness. And I am being sarcastic. So I'm surrounding myself with female friends to make up for the small spaces I had allocated to men. I've told you guys for a long time that I don't have male friends. I did believe in having male friends a while back, but then I realized, well, it's complicated. I have male associates, and how I associate with them is through business, through work, etc. And I've realized I'm having a harder time working with men or working for men. So it's easier for me to just have strong female friendships to replace those other networks as much as possible. Now, we still live in a man's world. I will one day have to deal with a man. But I actually haven't signed up any male clients. And it's because I don't want to. I work better with women. I do work well with men. It's just I am at capacity right now with regard to capacity for dealing with men who, like, client-wise. This is what I mean. In the health coaching bit, I just can't. Not for several months. I really can't. It's easier for me to like short-term support, yes, like where I can give you a menu, tell you, hey, get this done, let's work together for 4 weeks, go with God. But supporting them the way I support women for like 6 months to a year, can't. I've tried. It's just not working for me. And it's fine. One of the things I'm doing this year is I am not forcing open doors that will not open. I'm in fact, I told Wavua, I'm going with flow, not force. I'm fluid this year. I'm a yogi. I'm not a yogi, you know what I mean? I'm going with the lessons of yoga. I'm flowing into the spaces that I can occupy as myself and in my most authentic being, you know, and energy and as my most authentic self. So the female friends are really coming through. My spiritual life is great. My social life is fantastic. I have not yet wound up in a whorehouse because at some point I was so angry with God. I was like, if you don't give me a job and income, I hereby declare to you, you whose son had Rahab in his genealogy, I am heading the Rahab way. Not out of spite, but out of necessity. And because God knows I am a stupid, audacious child who does not learn, He sent me. Guys, when I say I'm a Christian and I believe in God, it's because I literally got annoyed and told God off. And I went to my banking app, which was at negative, and found money. It's not enough to cover 1 month's rent, but it's more than half my rent. Now, before you guys start sending your M-Pesa numbers and asking for money, it's all gone. And this is why. I had some bills I needed to pay. I recognized that the money must have come from a gig I did months ago. And I had signed the contract was like a booklet. It took so long to get that payment, and it just came at the opportune time. Ellen White, the lady we ascribed to as a prophet, a Seventh-day Adventist, has written, God has 1,000 ways to provide for us that we know nothing about. I say that with so much arrogant confidence. And I was speaking to a Christian brother today who's also just not losing his religion, but losing his grip on like that firm grasp, not grasp, but like how firmly he was holding to certain ideas of what it means to be a good Christian. And I told him, think critically. Christianity is not supposed to make you stupid, ideally, or dumb. It's supposed to make you more open-minded in your thinking. And I told him, Christ says you're supposed to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. If you're stuck on old ways like culture, or stuck on old ways like this is how I have always done, or people from my tribe or my area or how I grew up, I told him, you're barely 30. Why are you sounding like an old man? I called him out. And you know what? These young men who come to me for advice, I'm ready to dish it. And we talked for a beautiful 2 hours. And he's like, Cheryl, you know what you're saying is checking out. And I'm like, exactly. Because open up your head. This isn't a classic case of partialism. Our pastor said, you will not stand before God with your pastor. And that's the other thing. I am not hanging out with people who don't ascribe to my values. One of the conversations we had was, do not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. And I bragged about how I had dated a Catholic. And he's like, hey, Sharon, but unequal yoking. I told him, I have been more equally yoked with my Catholic for 16 years than I have been with any Adventist male anything my entire life. This is what I mean. And I gave him examples. I said, I have found myself being more equally yoked with atheist Germans who are white than I have been with certain African men who want to tell me that a woman's place is in the kitchen, not using those exact words, but in nuance, in the ways they hint at, how dare you challenge me, you're a woman, right? And I told him, excuse me, think very critically about what yoking is. If you're linking yourself up, let's say in business, with someone, wouldn't you rather work with someone who has good work ethic as opposed to we go to church on the same day? Don't you believe in values such as kindness, generosity within balance than someone who, in Christian circles, we call them keep warm and well-fed Christians? They're very quick to tell you, I'm praying for you. They will never open their wallet to give you fare or money for food. But I personally cannot stomach people like that, because I was raised by such a generous grandfather and such a generous mother. Part of my struggle as a person is that I set myself on fire to keep others warm. If you tell me you're struggling with something, well, prior to therapy, I would be the sort of person who would give you my rent money. If you tell me you're hungry, and especially if you have a child, I will shop for you. I'll probably not send you the money because I have trust issues and I'm not entirely stupid. And I'm not even saying this because, I am trying to score points. I'm just trying to tell you why I have a problem with the dissonance. So now, in finality, because I am 2 minutes over my time, one of the things I am doing in 2025 is matching energy and hanging out with people who have my energy. So for instance, I quoted a certain amount of money to someone for a job I did. They felt I was overcharging. Then they were like, hey, that amount is high and utakuwa umenigonga. And I told them, this is me notifying you. This is what I am asking for. But we can talk about it on Sunday. We'll review it on Sunday. And they're like, how long did you, how much time did you spend doing the work? Because they left me on site. So they didn't have a worksheet to know how long I had worked. And this is someone I've not been dishonest with when working with them. And, I've been picking up quite a few clients here and there. And I know when I'm dealing with someone who can pay and is choosing not to because they've either overcommitted elsewhere and whatever. And by the way, personally, that is not my problem. So what I decided to do was to give them time to think about what they were doing. They've called me twice. I've not picked their calls. And this is why. One, in my mind and in real life, I charge per hour of my time as a consultant, as a cleaner, as a babysitter, as as a what? As a coach, as a nutritionist, I charge per hour of my time. Okay? I also let people talk to me for free. My Instagram, I have so many people who are reaching out saying, I'm struggling with this. How did you deal with this? Please don't answer if you're not comfortable. I'm like, look, my life is literally on YouTube. Just go watch the 77 videos. And it's because when I stand before God one day and he asks me, what did I do with the time? For starters, I'll be so guilty. I'll be like, Jesus, I probably spent half my life in bed sleeping. However, for the hours that I was awake, I did a podcast. I finally started a podcast at the age of almost 37, so 36 and a half. I'm so excited to be heading towards 37 because it's closer to 40. So anyways, I'll be able to say, when my friends called me in distress, I listened. I prioritized people over things. Even when during exam season, if I had a friend who was going through the pits of life, I would make time. I would make time for 4-6 hour phone calls. And someone has asked me, oh my gosh, you have so much time in your hands. I'm like, you get this one life. I know what it's like to assume you can call someone tomorrow or next week and you never get to talk to that person again. And that's one of the gifts and curses of working in healthcare. We watch people die. We actually, literally, I remember telling people goodbye who seemed like they were doing fine and finally improving and out of the woods. The next morning, you come and find their bed made, and you're told they passed out in the shower and they are no longer with us. That has taught me some things. And also, unfortunately, and I think I've shared this before, when you've worked in healthcare for long enough, there are times when, especially you're dealing with terminal cases of very severe like illnesses, there are times when you can tell this person is on their way out, like we're about to lose them. And I have, just between me and Jesus, had made a plan with him, and we just talked about it, because me, I believe, like, I talk to God like he's my friend, because he's my friend, right? That's why I can actually be honest enough to tell him, look, if you don't give me money, me, I'm just going to find a stripper pole somewhere. I'm opening an OnlyFans. And because he knows that's what you're thinking anyway, so why not just tell him? Or when you're ranting with your girlfriends, you're telling them that, so why not just tell him? So in the dark of night, those are the things I tell him. And one of the things I told him was, you didn't put me on earth to make money. I need that to sink into the minds of religious people. God didn't put you on earth to make money. I know very many people who are horrible to people who are broke or poor, and they blame them. Or because you've read that the Bible says it is God who gives us the power to be rich, you assume just because you're rich, you're better than the other person. Remember, even Jesus Christ himself, the Son of God, said, foxes have holes, and the Son of Man has no place to rest his head. Do not for a second think that Jesus identifies more with the rich. If anything, he's the same one who spoke more about money than anything. And he said, especially these two things, if you're going to forget anything from the New Testament, that the love of money is the root of all evil. The continuation of that is, and many people who've, paraphrasing, gone to seek this money, because the love of money is driving them. Those who've gone to, and those who have sought it, have pierced themselves with many sorrows. That's sinking. Then it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a wealthy man to get into heaven. Y'all are out here telling God nijenge na V8, failing to recognize that very many of us, myself included, when God gave you that V8, 6-figure job, good-looking husband with matching vitenges that you pose with on social media to make all of us die of envy and feel our singleness in winter, that perfect baby bump, you go brag. And then you build a shiny golden calf-shaped altar for this person. This child you begged God for is the one that is the reason why you don't make time for God. In fact, you make more time to get outfits so that you guys match for pictures. Like, you literally build a shrine of worship for the same husband. You guys, and me, I'm all for have that lots of sex in the morning and evening. Have it before the child comes. But this man, if he doesn't go to church, you don't go to church either. You stay home to serve your husband. And yet you begged Jesus for a good man. And by the way, he's a good man. He makes you breakfast. Doesn't bring you HPV. Doesn't mess with your pH because he drinks water. He doesn't drink beer. If he's a good Adventist man, he drinks his cranberry juice, and so do you. You pee after sex. Life is good. You're not out here dealing with vaginal dryness. Or if you are, you're using estrogen. And you're forgetting you begged and begged. You begged God for this job, and then you got this job, and then you're working yourself to the bone so that you now have no energy to forget going to church, serve humanity. You now make a face at poor people. You make a face. You're one of those commentators for, if people wanted to, they could pull themselves by the bootstraps. Like, even me, I came from nothing. Lazima ukwe chap. You're forgetting you're the same. You are hustling like this person. You are worse off than them. All of 2 months ago, umekula saloya 500k once, twice. You're feeling like you're the thing, Dunia ni mviringo. The world, it's round like this. like a ball gum. You remember chewing gum? The ball gum we used to buy for 50 cents, the big one that you'd chew gum and it fills your mouth and your mother is annoyed because you sound like a cow. Every time I chew gum, I think of my mother. Let's not forget that the world is round. What goes around comes around. Be careful how you treat people. And 2025 is young. Let's say you broke your resolution in the first week or two, which is me, by the way. Whatever the resolution was. Let's say you left the situationship's house last night. Let's say you you ate that money you had said you're putting aside to do that course in March. You could either beat yourself up, or let's say you've had fries every day for the past 11 days. You could either beat yourself up and go like, oh my God, I am so stupid. Or you could tell yourself, not my best moment, but tomorrow is a new day. Start afresh. What's stopping you? Yes, you. Peace, love, and harmony.